Howdy and welcome to the Rev Check. Today we're riding a Mustang, the all-new Ford Mustang Mach-E. Yeehaw!
As the name Mach-E suggests, this Mustang is fully electric. It's available with 1 or 2 electric motors and rear or all-wheel drive and up to 351 horsepower.
So right now we're standing on a small airfield with a strip that Ford blocked especially for us. And now we can test the acceleration. The car we have right here is the most powerful one right now. 351 horsepower makes the dash from 0 to 100 in under 6 seconds. Let's check this out. Yeah, I mean, that's quite good. Of course, there are faster ones, and there will also be a faster one later. That will be the GT version that will feature more than 480 horsepower. That will propel the car to 100 kilometers an hour in under 4 seconds, and I'm excited to see that one.
The top-of-the-line GT version will launch in Europe at the end of 2021.
The general driving impression in the car is pretty good. I mean, considering that this is just a regular chassis without adaptive dampers and stuff, sometimes you feel the little bumps, but all in all, that is quite a pleasant experience. There are 3 different drive modes in this car that you can change if you tap on the small car right here. And then you can choose between active, whisper, and untamed. And untamed, as the name suggests, is the sport setup, and you will hear that by the sound. It somewhat reminds me of that V8 sound you get from your regular Mustang, but it's just not the same. It's just an artificial sound. But it's not bad at all. I've already heard worse sounds from other electric cars. And there is a musician out there that liked that sound so much, he made a song about it.
You might arrive at the whisper. Find it's time to engage.
Mustang, electric, it's a new thing. It's a new breed.
I am a new breed. I am a new breed.
And if you want to go untamed but don't want that artificial sound, you can deactivate it in the menu right here. And then it's just the electric motors and the wind.
Untamed mode gives you sharper steering, enhanced throttle response, and the feeling of downshifting when you decelerate. Whisper mode gives you maximum comfort. And active mode adapts to any driving style for everyday use.
In the profile you will see the designers used a special trick with a black roof. Because of the black color, you will not instantly recognize this as part of the car. So the red part here makes the roofline go down steeper than it actually does. And then you have this reminiscence of the original Mustang. But if you look at it closely, then you will see the roof is higher. The lower part, which they did in black as well, is lower. So all in all, the car is way higher than the original Mustang. I have to say, I really like the interior right here. It's way better than in other Fords I've driven lately. Of course, as you would expect it from a car of the future, you have a big central touchscreen, but you can also operate quite a few things via the steering wheel. For example, here, lane assist can be deactivated by a simple button at the steering wheel, which is pretty nice. You don't have to search for this in the touchscreen menus. And what I really like is the spaces that you find right here for your smartphone, where you can also charge it wirelessly, and right down here where you can put a bottle or something. That's really neat. And also the integration of the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which looks like a speaker right here. That's done pretty nicely, so I like it. Even though this is a coupe, you have a decent headroom and also quite a nice legroom. So compared to your regular Mustang, it's a pretty roomy car that can fit 4 to 5 people without a problem. The thing that is pretty cool design-wise is the omission of your regular door handle, which makes the car look sleeker. I really like it. You have a little handle right here where you can pull the door, but you actually don't need it, because if you press this button, the door will pop open and then you can step in. There's just one thing that I was wondering about, because most of you probably remember here in Germany and also in a lot of other countries around the world, in the last few weeks it got pretty cold. And one day I got out and my car door was frozen shut, and I had to use quite a lot of force on the handle to open up the door. But in the back, right here, you don't have any handle. So if you press this and the door is frozen, then it won't actually open up, I think. Sorry kids, no ride for you today. Guess who's walking to school? If you want, you can operate the car via one-pedal drive. You can simply activate that via the touchscreen right here. And then if you take your foot off the accelerator, the car will decelerate quite a bit. It's not as hard as, for example, in the Volvo XC40 Recharge, but it's way more than, for example, in the Opel Mach-E. What I like about the one-pedal drive is if you take your foot off the accelerator, it will take the car to a complete stop. And that's not the usual behavior of an electric car. A lot of electric cars out there I've driven will go down to a creeping speed instead.
2 different batteries are available for the Mach-E, providing ranges of 400 to 600 kilometers.
I have to say I'm a little bit angry at Ford. I mean, do you remember when they announced the new Puma? What I expected was a 2-seater sports coupe like back in the 90s. What I got was an SUV with a coupe roofline. And then they announced a fully electric Mustang, the Mustang Mach-E. What I expected was a coupe-like muscle car. And once again, what I got was an SUV with a coupe roofline. Anyway, there is no point in complaining about things that you can't change, so I might as well just enjoy the ride. Okay, I can't. Why did they choose the name Mustang? I mean, a Mustang, that's a classic. For example, the 1964 Cabriolet in James Bond's Goldfinger, or the 1968 Fastback in Bullet, or my personal favorite, Eleanor, the Shelby GT500 from Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage. When the movie came out, I was 12 years old and I loved that car, and I was sure one day I would drive such a car. Well, back then I didn't really think about money. Unfortunate. I think they simply should have named the car Ford Mach-E. That's a nice name, a good name. Why did they have to use the Mustang? In the internet you would call this clickbait. Ford clickbaited me. Look, we're bringing out a new Mustang. A Mach-E, fully electric one. Click. Gotcha, mate, it's an SUV. But once you're here now, check this out. Since the display is that big, you can have all the things you need on one page. So you have the navigation, you have the radio or whatever you might listen to, Bluetooth audio is available as well. And you have the climate control right here. You can operate it while you're driving because you can put your finger right here and then operate it like that, so you won't miss it if you drive over some bumps. So that's okay. Of course, you can also add your phone via Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. That works wirelessly if your device supports that. The Mach-E can be charged with up to 150 kilowatts, which is quite good in this segment. And depending on the battery size, it will then take 38 to 45 minutes to refill the battery to 80% if it was almost empty.
Only 10 minutes of charging can give you 119 kilometers of range.
So my final verdict on the car, I'm still not satisfied with the name. I think they should have named it Mach-E. But then again, if the only thing that bothers you about a car is its name, then it must be a damn good car, and the Mach-E definitely is a good car. The acceleration is nice, the handling is nice, the price is okay, and the infotainment system right here is up to date, and I really like the functions that you can use. So all in all, a very good car that would have deserved its own name.
Prices for the Ford Mustang Mach-E in Germany start at just under 47,000 euros, while the extended range all-wheel drive version we tested costs just under 63,000.